as well. But we're really excited about an upcoming project that's opening up on Princess Avenue in the downtown east side. And it's, I guess, going back to the theme of today, urban renewal versus the downtown east side, and tying that into building relations, is that I think we can, it doesn't have to be a versus thing. I think we can have urban renewal in the downtown east side and still house people, provide affordable housing, and make the downtown east side, it doesn't have to be gentrified. It can still exist and people can get along if they're willing to engage in dialogue and talk. And we try very, very hard to do that. I know there's someone here from UGM and they try very, very hard to do that too, and build those relationships. Because the project on Princess Avenue is going to have 140 units, and there's going to be 41 family units. And those families are going to be single-led mothers, and the kids are going to be going to school at Strathcona Elementary in the neighborhood. And so I think it's so, so important for nonprofits like ourselves to work in communities, build relationships with communities, so that we all work together, and hopefully ending homelessness won't be a fairy tale. Thanks. And Jason is running up. I did a shorter lecture hoping there'd be more questions and, in fact, dialogues, sort of don't sound like a hypocrite that I'm just talking to you guys and that's it and there's nothing else, because I hope there's lots of questions and chance to talk.
So, and on that note, would anyone like to come up and ask questions to Bill? Please, please, don't be shy.
Can't see the person.
I'm a person.
I know you're.
You talked about the history of why the number of homeless people has increased, specifically talking about Riverview. And what is your stance sort of on people who advocate basically returning those spaces in Riverview for people who are mentally ill? So basically, you know, it went the one way first, you know,
Yes.
let people out.
Yes.
Now they're on the street, and now it's like, well, the percentage of mentally ill people, of homeless people that are mentally ill is quite high, so why not just, you know, there's people, get them back in there.
Mm-hmm. And it has a lot to do with money, right? Because in the 70s and 80s, it was, I think, $200 or $300 a day for someone to stay in Riverview and $30 to stay, you know, in the downtown east side, or even like a supported housing project like ourselves. I think it's $50. The average is $50 a day for that person. There are times, like when I was managing Princess Rooms, there were times when their mental health had decompensated to the point where they didn't need to live at Riverview, but they definitely needed like a several-month stay, in my humble opinion. And that hit us pretty hard, because what would happen is that someone would be living at Princess Rooms, for example, go in a hospital, really need that long-term stay and not get it, and then come back and we try and house that person, or they may even be discharged without our knowledge sometimes, which is unfortunate. So I think there needs to be something. I don't know if it needs to be a place where people live for their entirety. I think if those conversations are taking place and there's various tiers or different types of housing, that's sort of the point, is that if that is an option, great. I don't think we have to just do this and get everyone back in there and stay there and live in this box. I think that if there's something where people can stay for months or years and then come back into society a different way, I think that could work. Does that answer your question?
Actually, I think I'm going to ask my own question.
Okay.
I really loved the story about the NIMBYism, completely going 180. Do you have any other stories like that, or is there?
I think that, do I have any other stories like that? It's just, you're constantly amazed at again, those little successes. And we had a woman staying with us who had, for years, been almost catatonic, like just very little conversation. And something I didn't talk about is that at Princess Rooms, we now have a huge kitchen, and it's a new meal program, and that's made a huge difference. So that's building community within the building. And it's hard to say if that community building within the building or the fact that women had been with us and it took several years to build that trust led to this, but right after the kitchen opened and after people were eating meals on a regular basis, she literally came out of her shell at a dance, a community dance, was pulling people on the dance floor and dancing around, having a blast where we'd never seen that before in years. So a number of variables, don't know which ones contributed the most, but just, again, like providing different things that people need, and hopefully when they're ready to make a change or a drastic change or a small change, it'll take place.
Cool. Great. Thank you so much, Bill.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Briscall, Media Liaison for Rain City Housing. If you'd like to learn more about Rain City Housing, their website is raincityhousing.org. And here is Bill's email address. So we're going to take a short break again and then come back. Wow, you were really quick.
I was really quick.
So we're going to come back and...
Or we can answer more questions.
Or does anyone else want to continue? Okay.
Or we can just talk.
So we'll... Oh, yes, please.
I'd like to know when your new place on Princess will be finished.
I don't know. We hope... No, it hasn't started even. It's where the Drake Hotel currently stands. So we think, and now this is being recorded, so I'll probably get fired, that it's going to break ground a year from now. And that's fluid. That could be 10 months from now, that could be 14 months from now, and then depending on the company, it could take another 18 months to finish. So, and it'll be BC Housing, at least right now, it'll be BC Housing that makes those referrals. That could change as well. So.
There could be an election before.
There probably will be an election before then. So that will change things. That could change things too. Yes. But
Okay.
BC Housing will still be BC Housing after the election.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you again for coming.